Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the ancient Chinese military treatise, The Art of War, and exploring its lesser-known companion, the 36 Stratagems. These stratagems aren't just dusty relics of the past. They offer timeless insights into the art of strategy, applicable not just on battlefields, but in the arenas of politics, business, and even our daily lives. Imagine a playbook for outsmarting your opponent, navigating complex situations and achieving your goals, even when the odds are stacked against you. That's the power of the 36 stratagems. From deception and diversion to alliances and retreats, we'll uncover the brilliance behind each tactic and how it can be applied in today's world. Get ready to see the world through a new lens, because understanding these stratagems can be your secret weapon in deciphering the motives and maneuvers of others. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a fascinating journey into the heart of strategy and human behavior. Picture this: you're a general facing a formidable enemy. Direct confrontation would be disastrous. So what do? You employ deception. You create a convincing illusion, a grand spectacle to mislead your opponent, making them believe you're somewhere you're not, doing something you're not. This is the essence of deceive the heavens to cross the ocean. In politics, it's the art of misdirection, using propaganda and carefully crafted narratives to sway public opinion. In our daily lives, it's about being strategic with information, revealing only what's necessary while keeping your true intentions hidden until the time is right. Imagine a friend in trouble, but instead of directly confronting the source of their problem, you target something they value even more. This indirect approach forces their hand, compelling them to abandon their original pursuit and rush to protect what's truly important. This is besiege way to rescue Zhao in action. In warfare, it's about flanking maneuvers and surprise attacks, diverting the enemy's attention while you strike at their weak points. In politics, it's about applying pressure on your opponent's allies or interests, forcing them to reconsider their position. This stratagem is all about cunning and leveraging the power of others to achieve your aims. It's about staying behind the scenes while manipulating circumstances to turn your enemy's allies against them, or even pitting your enemies against each other. The borrowed knife could be a rival faction, a smear campaign, or even public opinion itself. In the political arena, think of leaked documents that expose a candidate's wrongdoings, ultimately benefiting their opponent without them having to lift a finger. But Chapter 4, Stratagem 4, Wait at leisure while the enemy labors. This stratagem is the embodiment of patience and calculated observation. It's about choosing your battles wisely, conserving your strength while your opponent exhausts themselves in futile efforts. Think of a long, drawn-out siege where the attacking army eventually weakens, making them vulnerable to a counterattack. In the realm of business, this could translate to allowing a competitor to pour resources into a risky venture, only to swoop in and dominate the market once they've depleted their resources. It's about knowing when to strike and when to bide your time. Chapter 5, Stratagem 5, Loot a burning house. This stratagem sounds ruthless, and it can be. It's about capitalizing on chaos and vulnerability. Imagine a kingdom in turmoil, weakened by internal strife. This is the opportune moment for an external force to strike, taking advantage of the disarray to seize power or resources. This principle translates to the business world as well. A company facing a scandal or financial instability might become a prime target for a hostile takeover. It's a stark reminder that fortune favors the bold, especially in times of upheaval. Chapter 6, Stratagem 6, Make a sound in the east, then strike in the west. This stratagem is all about the art of distraction and misdirection. By creating a commotion in one location, you divert your opponent's attention and resources, leaving them vulnerable to a surprise attack elsewhere. Think of a magician using flourishes and grand gestures to draw your eye away from the sleight of hand that's actually taking place. In military terms, this could be a diversionary tactic, sending a small force to feign an attack in one area while the main army prepares to strike from an unexpected direction. Chapter 7, Stratagem 7, Create something from nothing. This stratagem is the embodiment of illusion and the power of perception. It's about turning a situation to your advantage by manufacturing a crisis or opportunity where none previously existed. Think of a political campaign that fabricates a threat to national security to rally support for their agenda. Or in a more everyday example, imagine spreading rumors to damage someone's reputation, creating an opening for you to exploit. This stratagem highlights the persuasive power of narratives, even if they're built on a foundation of smoke and mirrors. Chapter 8, Stratagem 8. Openly repair the gallery roads, but sneak through the passage of Chenkang. This stratagem is a classic case of deception and surprise. You lull your opponent into a false sense of security by appearing to take the obvious, expected route while secretly maneuvering to outflank them. Imagine repairing a well-traveled road, making a big show of it, while secretly preparing a hidden path through treacherous mountains to catch your enemy off guard. In modern terms, think of a business announcing a major product launch, diverting attention from a smaller, more innovative project being developed in stealth mode. Chapter 9, Stratagem 9. Watch the fires burning across the river. This stratagem speaks to the wisdom of strategic patience and observation. Sometimes the best course of action is to remain neutral, to watch as your enemies exhaust themselves in conflict, weakening each other. Imagine two rival nations locked in a bitter war. A third nation, observing from a distance, can choose to intervene, but at a cost. By waiting, they conserve their strength and resources, potentially emerging as a dominant power once the conflict has run its course. Chapter 10, Stratagem 10. Hide a knife behind a smile. This stratagem is a chilling reminder that appearances can be deceiving. It's about concealing your true intentions behind a facade of friendliness, disarming your opponent with charm and politeness while secretly plotting their downfall. In the world of espionage, this is the very essence of a honey trap, using seduction and manipulation to extract information or compromise an enemy. In everyday life, it's a cautionary tale about trusting too easily, reminding us that not all who smile are our friends. Chapter 11, Stratagem 11. Sacrifice the plum tree to preserve the peach tree. This stratagem highlights the difficult choices leaders sometimes have to make. It's about strategic sacrifice, giving up something of lesser value to protect something more critical in the long run. Imagine a military commander choosing to abandon a strategically unimportant outpost to consolidate their forces and defend a more vital position. In business, this could translate to discontinuing a product line that's losing money to invest in the development of a more promising one. Chapter 12, Stratagem 12. Take the opportunity to pilfer a goat. This stratagem is about opportunism, recognizing and seizing small victories when they present themselves. It's about exploiting minor vulnerabilities or distractions to gain an advantage, even if the gains seem insignificant at the time. Imagine a thief using the commotion of a market day to pickpocket unsuspecting bystanders. While each individual theft might yield a small reward, the cumulative effect can be substantial. In a negotiation, this could involve securing minor concessions that, when added together, shift the balance of power in your favor. Chapter 13, Stratagem 13. Stomp the grass to scare the snake. This stratagem is about forcing your opponent's hand, provoking them into revealing their intentions or capabilities. It's about using calculated provocations or displays of strength to draw out a reaction, allowing you to assess their strengths and weaknesses. Think of a military commander ordering a series of probing attacks on an enemy's defenses, not necessarily to inflict damage, but to gather intelligence about their troop deployments and tactics. In a business negotiation, this could involve leaking information about a potential deal to gauge the competitor's response. Chapter 14, Stratagem 14. Borrow a corpse to resurrect the soul. This stratagem is about reinvention and adaptation. It's about taking something old, outdated, or seemingly useless and breathing new life into it to achieve your goals. Imagine a struggling company revitalizing its image by rebranding itself with a modern logo and marketing campaign. appealing to a new generation of consumers. In politics, this could involve reviving an old policy or idea, repackaging it to resonate with current concerns and anxieties. Chapter 15. Stratagem 15. Lure the tiger off its mountain lair. This stratagem is about forcing your opponent out of their comfort zone, drawing them onto unfamiliar ground where they are weaker and you are stronger. It's about exploiting their reliance on familiar territory, resources, or tactics. Imagine a guerrilla army luring a conventional military force deep into a jungle or mountainous terrain, negating their superior firepower and technology. In a business context, this could involve enticing a competitor into a new market or product category where you have the advantage of experience and established networks. Stratagem 16. In order to capture, one must let loose. This stratagem is counterintuitive, but incredibly effective. It's about strategic retreat and calculated concessions. Sometimes, to achieve a greater victory, you need to give ground, creating the illusion of weakness or defeat. Imagine a military commander allowing the enemy to advance, stretching their supply lines and exhausting their troops before launching a decisive counterattack. In negotiations, this could involve conceding on minor points to gain leverage on issues of greater importance. Stratagem 17. Tossing out a brick to get a jade gem. This stratagem is about strategic sacrifice and calculated risk. It's about giving up something of lesser value to gain something far more precious. Imagine a merchant deliberately losing a small sum of money in a rigged gambling game, only to gain the trust of a wealthy mark, who then wagers and loses a fortune. In a negotiation, this could involve offering a seemingly generous concession, knowing that it will lead your opponent to make a much larger concession in return. Stratagem 18. Defeat the enemy by capturing their chief. This stratagem emphasizes the importance of leadership and how its removal can cripple an entire organization or army. Capturing the leader disrupts the chain of command, sowing confusion and demoralizing the enemy. In ancient warfare, this often meant targeting the enemy general. In modern times, this could translate to a corporate takeover that ousts the CEO, or a political campaign that discredits the opposing candidate, leaving their supporters rudderless. Chapter 19. Remove the firewood from under the pot. This stratagem is about subtly undermining your opponent's source of strength rather than confronting them directly. It's about cutting off their resources, weakening their alliances, or eroding their support base. Imagine a kingdom dependent on a vital trade route. By disrupting that trade route, a rival kingdom can weaken their enemy without engaging in direct warfare. In a business context, this could involve poaching a competitor's top talent or disrupting their supply chain. Chapter 20. Disturb the water and catch a fish. This stratagem emphasizes the importance of creating chaos and confusion to gain an advantage. By stirring up trouble, you force your opponent to react, revealing their position, intentions, or weaknesses. Imagine a fisherman casting a net into still water. The fish are likely to scatter and escape. But by first disturbing the water, the fisherman can drive the fish into the waiting net. In a negotiation, this could involve introducing unexpected demands or changing the terms at the last minute to throw your opponent off balance. Chapter 21. Slough off the cicada's golden shell. This stratagem is about strategic retreat and deception. It's about creating a diversion, leaving behind a convincing illusion while you escape to fight another day. The cicada sheds its exoskeleton, leaving behind a perfect replica of itself. An army might leave behind decoys and a convincing illusion of their presence in a camp while secretly relocating to a more advantageous position. In the business world, this could be akin to a company staging a public exit from a market only to re-emerge under a new brand or with a different approach. Chapter 22. Stratagem 22. Shut the door to catch the thief. This stratagem emphasizes the importance of cutting off an enemy's escape routes, trapping them and ensuring their defeat. It's about surrounding your opponent, leaving them with no choice but to surrender or face overwhelming odds. Imagine a police cordon surrounding a building where criminals are hiding, leaving them with no way out. In a business negotiation, this could involve structuring a deal so that your competitor has no other viable options, forcing them to accept your terms. Chapter 23. Stratagem 23. Befriend a distant state while attacking a neighbor. This stratagem is a classic geopolitical maneuver. It's about exploiting distances and alliances to your advantage. By securing the support of a distant power, you can isolate a closer enemy, making them more vulnerable to attack. Imagine a kingdom forming an alliance with a powerful empire located far away. This alliance serves as a deterrent to any neighboring kingdoms who might consider invading. In the modern world, this could translate to a country seeking support from international organizations to put pressure on a regional rival. Chapter 24. Stratagem 24. Obtain safe passage to conquer the state of Guo. This stratagem is about using deception and cunning to achieve your goals. It's about securing a seemingly harmless agreement or passage, only to use it as a stepping stone to seize control or conquer a target. The story of the Trojan horse is a classic example of this stratagem. In a modern context, this could involve a company gaining a foothold in a new market by initially partnering with a local firm only to later acquire the company outright, eliminating a competitor and establishing dominance. Chapter 25. Replace the beams with rotten timbers. The stratagem is about sabotage and undermining your opponent from within. It's about subtly weakening their structures, systems, or support base, making them vulnerable to collapse when they least expect it. Imagine a group of rebels secretly replacing the supports of a bridge, causing it to crumble when the enemy army attempts to cross. In a corporate setting, this could involve spreading disinformation or planting a mole within a rival company to disrupt their operations. Chapter 26. Point at the mulberry tree, while cursing the locust tree. This stratagem is about indirect criticism and using subterfuge to convey your message. It's about publicly reprimanding one target as a way to send a veiled warning or criticism to the true object of your displeasure. Imagine a king publicly chastising a minor official for a trivial offense, while his true target is a powerful noble who would be angered by a direct confrontation. In a modern context, this could be a politician criticizing a past administration for policies they actually agree with, but doing so allows them to score political points with their base. Chapter 27. Feign madness, but keep your balance. This stratagem is about using deception to lower your opponent's guard. By appearing irrational, unpredictable, or even insane, you can lull them into a false sense of security, making them underestimate your true capabilities. Think of a skilled warrior pretending to be a harmless fool, only to unleash their deadly skills when the time is right. In a negotiation, this could involve making outrageous demands or acting erratically to throw your opponent off balance and gain a psychological advantage. Chapter 28. Stratagem 28. Remove the ladder when the enemy has ascended to the roof. This stratagem is about cutting off your enemy's escape route once they've committed to a course of action, leaving them stranded and vulnerable. It's about luring them into a trap, then removing any possibility of retreat. Imagine a cunning general allowing the enemy to enter a fortress only to then raise the drawbridge, trapping them inside. In a business negotiation, this could involve agreeing to terms that seem favorable to your competitor, only to later change the terms of the deal, leaving them with no choice but to accept a less favorable outcome. Chapter 29. Stratagem 29. Deck the tree with false blossoms. This stratagem is all about creating a facade of prosperity and strength, even when the reality is quite different. It's about using deception to project an image of success, hoping to discourage your opponents or attract allies. Imagine a declining kingdom decorating its streets with banners and flowers to hide the signs of poverty and unrest from visiting dignitaries. In the business world, this could be a company inflating its sales figures or exaggerating its market share to attract investors. Chapter 30. Stratagem 30. Make the host and the guest exchange roles. This stratagem is about seizing control by subtly shifting the balance of power in your favor. It's about turning the tables on your opponent, making them feel like the outsider in a situation where they once held the advantage. Imagine a small group of rebels infiltrating a city and gradually taking control of key positions, eventually forcing the ruling government to flee. In a negotiation, this could involve taking control of the agenda, setting the terms of the discussion, and dictating the pace of the talk. Chapter 31. Stratagem 31. The Beauty Trap. This stratagem is a cautionary tale about the seductive power of beauty and the dangers of succumbing to temptation. It's about using charm, allure, and distraction to weaken your opponent's resolve, making them vulnerable to manipulation. The classic story of Samson and Delilah illustrates this stratagem. In a modern context, this could involve using attractive spokespeople or seductive advertising to promote a product or idea, even if it's not in the best interest of the consumer. Chapter 32. Stratagem 32, the Empty Fort Strategy. This stratagem is a classic bluff, a bold gamble that relies on your opponent's fear and uncertainty. By creating the illusion of strength and preparedness, you might deter them from attacking, even if your position is actually weak. Imagine a general facing a superior force, ordering his men to open the city gates, creating the impression that a trap awaits. In a business negotiation, this could involve projecting an air of confidence and unwavering resolve, even if you have doubts about the outcome. Chapter 33. Stratagem 33. Let the enemy's own spies sow discord in the enemy camp. This stratagem is about using disinformation and manipulation to turn your enemy's allies against them. By planting rumors, spreading false information, or exploiting existing tensions, you can create chaos and distrust within their ranks. Imagine a spy spreading rumors of betrayal among the enemy's advisors, sowing suspicion and paranoia. In a modern context, this could involve leaking damaging information to the media or using social media to spread propaganda and discredit your opponents. Chapter 34. Inflict injury on oneself to win the enemy's trust. This stratagem is a risky but potentially effective way to gain your enemy's confidence by appearing to make a sacrifice or endure a hardship. You can earn their sympathy or trust, only to betray them later when their guard is down. Imagine a spy allowing themselves to be captured, enduring torture to convince their captors of their loyalty, only to escape later and sabotage their operations. In a business negotiation, this could involve making a public show of conceding on a minor point to gain your competitor's trust, only to outmaneuver them later in the negotiation. Chapter 35, Chain Stratagems. This stratagem highlights the importance of flexibility and adaptability in strategy. It emphasizes that the 36 stratagems are not meant to be used in isolation, but rather as interconnected tools in a fluid and ever-changing landscape. Like links in a chain, each stratagem can be connected to others, creating complex and multi-layered plans. Imagine a general employing a series of deceptions, distractions, and surprise attacks to outmaneuver the enemy. In a business context, this could involve using a combination of marketing, product development, and strategic partnerships to achieve market dominance. Chapter 36. If all else fails, retreat. This stratagem is a reminder that discretion is sometimes the better part of valor. It's about recognizing when a situation is unwinnable and choosing to live to fight another day. Retreat is not defeat. It's a strategic maneuver, a way to regroup, reassess, and return stronger in the future. Imagine an army retreating from a losing battle to preserve its strength, only to launch a counteroffensive later when the enemy is weaker. In business, this could mean withdrawing from a failing market to focus on more promising opportunities. We've journeyed through the fascinating world of Sun Tzu's 36 stratagems, uncovering the timeless wisdom embedded in these ancient tactics. Remember, these stratagems aren't just about winning wars. They're about understanding human behavior, anticipating your opponent's moves, and navigating the complexities of life with strategic brilliance. As you've seen, these stratagems pop up in politics, business negotiations, and even our personal interactions. By recognizing these patterns, you're not just becoming a better strategist, you're becoming a more insightful observer of human nature. So the next time you're facing a challenging situation, remember the 36 stratagems. Think outside the box, consider unconventional solutions, and don't be afraid to outsmart your opponent. And hey, while you're at it, why not like this video, share it with a friend who needs a strategic boost, and subscribe to the channel for more insightful content.